So one of my favorite pastimes is going onto Wattpad and searching for the weirdest stories I possibly can find. Wattpad is something that like frightens me but also fascinates me. When I was in middle school, me and my group of friends, we actually like all wrote on Wattpad, and we would all like friend each other and share around our stories, and we pretty much used it as like a social media website. Unfortunately for all of you, but fortunately for me, all of my Wattpad stories have been deleted. That's just proof that 14-year-old Caleb did something right. And I feel like it very much belongs to like the 14, 15-year-olds of the internet. And so because of that, I want to freaking infiltrate it and see what's really going on here. I'm gonna be putting on my goggles and putting on my snorkel, and we're gonna dive deep into the cursed world of Wattpad. So let's do it.
I say, tune to go. No one huck a loogie in my cup.
Okay, so it appears that we are on the Wattpad homepage. I don't want to look at the homepage yet. I first want to look up into the corner here because I used a random email to sign in, and it appears that we are on one of my old accounts. So it appears that I do have a Wattpad page that is public. It appears that I do have 2 stories that are not actually published, so maybe we'll look into those in a little bit. In my bio, I'm promoting my book called Fire to Dust. I don't really remember what that is. Actually, wait, was that my Hunger Games story? I think at one point she like smashed somebody's head in with a rock. The homepage is promoting me some sexy looking books. We've got YOLO, we've got Above All Else, we've got, oh, that's just an ad. And then we've got Sirens Fall, and there is a content advisory for this one. I want to see what that's all about. Since falling in love with a siren, Ava's life has been nothing short of extraordinary. If only she could remember it. Oh, she got memory loss. Let's read. Free preview. Do you have to pay? Introducing paid stories. Thank writers for creating the stories. No, I don't want to freaking do that. Okay, so to my surprise, y'all, Wattpad is scamming us. I want to read this book called YOLO, but I'm scared that they are going to make me freaking pay. They are! YOLO stands for You Only Live Once, for all the 13-year-olds that weren't around for that era. His pistachio green eyes drilled into mine as a playful smile lingering on his lips. Wait, what? Is this gay? I think that they're gay. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the search engine and I'm gonna just type in something random. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here. We've got Peter Pan Kidnapped Love, Book 1, completed. No, please Peter, don't do this, I cried as I continue to free myself from the ropes that are tied to the bedpole. I can't hold it anymore, Rose. I love you so much. I want to show you that love, he said as he continues to, okay, we're not reading this. Kidnapped and tortured by a strange ... Scarlett's life has never been perfect. In fact, from good it's gone to bad. Okay, the person she has ever loved no longer exists, and her family doubt her, and when someone is watching, they don't hesitate to take her. Okay, we're reading it. I woke up feeling like crap. My eyes stung and my body ached all over. I don't even remember what happened last night. It was all a blur to me. Was I drunk? Suddenly, as I started to walk, I felt someone's eyes stare at my back. Then I chose to ignore it. I got stares every day. I was sick of it. I like that because it's implying that she's just not like the other girls, which is very true. Hi, a dark voice said. That's so not menacing. I'm sure it's like, hi. But I just, the way it's like written with 2 dots at the end, it's like, hi. Turning around, a nice looking man in about his 20s smirked at me, but I gave him a weird look and kept walking. Let's look at the comments. It all starts here, I guess. Venetia von Sigenane said, creep. I've never been someone who's commented on anything on the internet. Like, I never comment on people's videos. I don't comment on like posts or tweets or anything. Just can't imagine reading this and being like, I need to let the people know how I feel. I'm typing in creep in the comments. 'Cause I'm a creep. The man carried me into his car and my heart was in my throat with no idea what to do. That's too bad. Nothing much, just me imagining her heart in the throat. She said, bitch, why wouldn't you knock her out first? Oh wait, that's Venetia. Dilf Taco said, that's why I always carry little knife. Okay, this story is really freaking boring. Can I skip ahead? Wired how stories always ends with a happy ending. Obviously, mine perfectly didn't. walking away from the man I used to trust, used to love, and used to hold, but finding out he slept with my best friend and betrayed me. But then I was madly in love, and I still am, with the person who was always there and never left, who put me before. Is she talking about the kidnapper? Hey baby, I said, stroking her hair. Daddy was all she said, which hurt me inside. Okay, this story I think went off the rails. Crazy Girl 56, you need to work on the grammar. Okay, something else that I wanted to search was dog formers times human reader. My life has never been an easy one. All my life people have told me that I'm never gonna have a good job or family that will love me. Who is saying that? Currently, I am living in Jasper, Nevada's orphanage for unwanted children, aka me. I think what I like about that is that it is just really symbolizing that it's me. I don't know. No, I read butts is butts. She said I got bullied for my scar across my face. And then the comments, all these like readers, all these kids are like apologizing for her scar or like reinforcing that she's still beautiful with her scar. Frisk No said, girl, you scar is beautiful. What do you think's gonna happen if I just type in poop? Oh my god, this is what I've been needing. This has 145,000 reads, by the way. Step 1, go to the bathroom. I'd rather stay in the walls. Step 2, close the door really lock. Step 3, open the toilet. Step 5, do some pressure. Okay, we need to check the comments for this. Falls balls in yo jaw said, pressure like a drip drip, that'll never stop. Wait, what? I read that as pleasure. It still doesn't make sense either way. I think that they're just saying to push the poop out. Here it is, my favorite Wattpad story. This is called Pregnant in the Hunger Games, and this was a book that I don't know why I was so captivated when I was like 15 over, but I remember reading and thinking the baby was gonna win the Hunger Games. Willow Undersea, Effie said in a wind chime like voice. How do you even wind chime? Willow Undersea. I just remember that like she was giving birth and then the Capitol was like, we feel so bad that she's pregnant, so we're just gonna like let her leave. I was like, why did you put her in the first place? I did want to search just for my own curiosity. My heart is not homophobic, boy times boy. My homophobe. What happens when she falls for the most cold-hearted homophobic teacher in her school? I don't know, but I want to find out. I don't see any homophobia, which is very upsetting, so I think it's time to move on. Clown romance. These seem to all be about Pennywise the clown. I want it to be more like silly circus clown. Ratatouille times reader. Once upon a time, there was a small sewer rat. Her name was, and then this is one of those books where it says like Y/N, and you're supposed to say like your name and just pretend that it's you. Comments say, people simp for him. Everyone in the comments seems like they are shocked that they've ended up in this place, which I appreciate. What's your name? He asked. Caleb. I hate that. He smiled. Would you like to join me? You nodded, and you two walked away and talked about what seemed like hours. You like getting to know this stranger known as Remy. Well, me and Remy are really hitting it off. I'm kind of happy. He's a rat and I love him. You turned and looked at him. Can you sleep with me? He asked softly. Your eyes widened. Oh, I guess. He wrapped a paw around your body. Years later, you had gotten married and had tiny little mice children. You're telling me I fully got pregnant and had multiple rat babies and I never even got to hear about it? Can't believe I got railed by a rat. There seems to be a lot of Star Wars like smutty fan fiction about like Kylo Ren and Rey, but I want Palpatine. Kylo times Palpatine. As I looked across the room after Jerkin won, I see what seemed to be the poop that was left in the toilet after last night's spicy bean burrito from the bell of the taco. It was just my great-grandfather Palpatine, nicknamed Palpy. Oh, great-grandson, how I've missed you. He has gone away for about 5 years because we kicked him out of the house. Because... No, I'm not reading that. We'll quickly take off our shirts, revealing his saggy, wrinkly, chocolate chip nipples. Okay, I know that this might be a little bit edgy and that people might cancel me, but I'm curious what happens if I Search for this. Stalin and Hitler's escape from hell. They're like earnestly writing a story about like Hitler and like Nazi Germany. That's interesting. Hitler times Jesus. Jesus take the wheel. The description says that's pretty gay. This person has a swastika as their profile picture, and they said, "This is what I call entertainment." Jesus tries to stop Judas from betraying him by using some dirty methods. Jesus's wrists won't be the only thing getting nailed tonight. I didn't know that Anna Todd wrote Little Women. Okay, so I decided to search for Caleb Joseph because I'm curious about if y'all write stories about me. The first thing that comes up says a GIF series. I don't know what that means. Are these just like GIFs or something? Did they post GIFs of people? She post GIFs about me? I'm not even in this book anyway, so screw you. Male models and others. Do they think that I'm a model? Hold on a second. Please tell me that you did not put me in this group of models because that is so embarrassing if you did. I don't think she did. I just wanted one fan fiction written about myself and y'all let me down. So that's all I have to say about that. Chewbacca smut, bad language 12 plus, and offensive scenes. They said Chewbacca calls people slurs in this story. My dad gave me a smack around the face and said, "Be more respectful." The first one, nothing. The second, nothing. And same for another 7 of them. It'd be the 3 presents. And this book makes no sense. This book is a One Direction book where Niall is a gay activist and Zayn is homophobic, so let's read. I heard him scoff when he got in. I looked over to him and he was looking at me with disgust. "Oh, hi," I said, smiling. "Don't talk to me." Something that I thought was really missing from Wattpad as a community is like slurs. His Sasquatch said, "I just want to put a disclaimer that I am not gonna take this homophobia serious because I'm very awkward and I'm gonna laugh." Speaking of saying slurs, oh, is there nothing? I'm a little bit upset. Club Penguin Mega Piss Adventure. Join Stacy. Oh, okay. Why are there like suddenly slurs on every story? I don't know who Shid is, but they're saying slurs, so make sure to go on Club Penguin Mega Piss Adventure and leave hate. A Cucumber's Tomato, VeggieTale Love Story. Larry and Bob run a children's show, but what if they're more than just co-stars? Maybe boyfriends. Bob sighed as he plopped down on the bed he shared with his boyfriend. "We can't keep doing this," he said. "We're in a Christian children's show, for God's sake." "I know," Larry replied, "but I just can't help myself." He pounced onto the bed and on top of... Okay, what? Bob moaned, tasting Larry's seeds. Somebody in the comments said, "I always knew they were a little fruity." I never looked into the poetry section of Wattpad, but I'm curious to see. This poetry is called Men Don't Cry, so let's look into this. It appears that Men Don't Cry is a published poetry book, and I don't know if you know how I feel about poetry. I think it's really pretentious and none of it makes sense, but I'm hoping that Insomniac wrote good poetry. They say real men don't cry. Instead, we wear our emotions like intricately decorated chains strung around our throats and then tuck them into our shirts. That's shit. Wow, these men just have such a hard time. I feel so bad for them. Crying. Since the moment I emerged from a painted sea, drenched in the blood I shared with a goddess, my mother, an eternal connection had been forged. Achilles vibes. Not really. My mother used to tell me, all you ever did was cry when you were a baby. Every day. What's deep about that? Babies just freaking cry. Can you imagine moms being like, "Ugh, when you were a baby, you cried like every day." Like, yeah, I was a freaking baby. What? The endless shrieks of a tiny creature robbed my mother of her sanity, and the creature swallowed it whole. To compensate for its lack thereof, only then was it calm. That is not good. I don't want to be a gatekeeper of poetry, but that's shit. That's really bad, right? I feel like I could write better poetry than that. And I honestly have. Meeting Michael Cera. I'm so sad and so in love. With who, you ask? I'm in love with him. But who's him, you ask? None other than Michael Austin Cera. Swoon, XD. His golden brown hair that shimmers like hair. This is the girl who wrote the Michael Cera book. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I have a couple of my own Wattpad stories that I have since privated, but have since recovered that I did not know about. The first story I have here is called Darkness Rewritten. I designed this cover by myself. Oh no, hey, look, it's my full legal name. Basically, the idea was that there was this kid who was like a very bad person, and then like he wakes up at the beginning of the book with no memory of anything, and it's like he's in hell, basically. My vision is foggy. I rub my hands over my eyes and open them. Everything around me is a daze. Blurry darkness and heat is all I can sense around me. Where am I? Every muscle and bone in my body feels like I've been attacked by a giant creature. And I remember this was a big issue I had for a while, like describing pain and describing like settings and also like emotions. I guess that's literally everything. The scary thing is that I remember nothing. Who am I? Where am I? Why am I? I am wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. Then my first memory hits me. I really enjoy how I made sure to include what he was wearing because that really just paints a very vivid picture in my mind. My name is... I don't even know it. Then the flood hits me. I'm a junior in high school. I have mostly A's and made honor roll every year. My girlfriend is the best. Everything is great. My name is Jackson. I know who I am. I know everything. Where am I? Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on. I need to walk around. The only way I can get out of this cave is to find the exit. So I walk and walk. Miles. My feet burn and I give up. Every time I breathe in, it burns like smoke. Fire is around me, on the floor and on the walls. Everything is red. I could have had a very unique interpretation of what hell was like, but it feels like I just went with like a, it's smoky and fire. So basically just like the nether from Minecraft. I walk for so long that my mind stays from everything. I really enjoyed that sentence. That's when I see something in the distance, a throne, a tall white throne. I need to get to it. And that is all I wrote. My biggest takeaway from this entire story and this entire idea is that it is shit. I was just playing with the idea. I think that's why I never even published it. That's why it stayed as a draft, because I was trying to figure out sort of the plot line of the story and like the plot to take the book. And I never ended up actually doing anything with it, which is very upsetting. My other story is one that I don't think I'm going to read in entirety. It is called Book Camp. I actually wrote this entire story, and it is like 115,000 words. Essentially, it takes place during a summer camp that revolves around books. The cabins are like broken into like genre, so when you get there, you get like paired with like people in your genre. And I remember it was just very lighthearted and very fun, and there's a bunch of cringy book references throughout the entire book. If you follow my Patreon, you know this because I actually did a full reading of the book, or like at least like talking you through the plot. I did that like a year ago. So because of that, I feel inclined not to read it. I've sort of given up the dream that I would ever publish this book, just because even looking back, I think that it's cringy. It's very much like a 16-year-old writing a contemporary novel. I give this book a disclaimer in the first chapter. It says, "This is my story. Don't take it, don't copy it. The world and the characters are all mine. You steal it, you die." I just lived in constant fear that James Patterson was gonna see my idea and then write an entire book about it. So I think that's all the time we have for deep diving today. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. I had a great time exploring the depths, seeing what Wattpad had to offer. As always, make sure to check out my Patreon. I am desperate for the money, and also make sure to subscribe because I am desperate for the attention. I'll see y'all next time. Bye. I remember one time me and my friend, we made our own Wattpad account, and we were going to be writing a Hunger Games fan fiction, and we were each going to be writing one chapter in the point of view of one character. I remember I wrote like 1,000 words per chapter, and I was really giving dialogue and giving description, and then my co-author was writing like 100 words per chapter with no details, and it was really, really awful writing. Looking back at my own writing, it was definitely not good, but I remember thinking to myself that she wasn't keeping up her end of the bargain, so without saying anything, I deleted the account because I was so angry at her. And then I remember the next day at school, I was like, I think we got hacked, and nobody ever found out.